All right, on to the New Year's Six Bowls. The Sugar Bowl featuring your beloved Georgia Bulldogs against Texas. Lead off, sir.
I'm just trying to find the number. 37.
Okay.
Texas. No, I'm just joking. Dogs. I just don't think they can handle the offensive line. That's the biggest thing. I think Georgia can just run it down their throats. And then if Texas really wants to try and stack the box, then we'll throw all over them.
Sure.
And they have good receivers. I give them that.
Mm-hmm.
They have good receivers. And Ellinger is a gamer. But we do have our defensive backfield has looked really, really strong. So I just don't think they can keep up.
He could be a gamer all he wants.
Right.
That Oklahoma defense was able to kind of control him in the Big 12 championship game to a degree, and that Georgia defense is far, far superior to anything that he saw in the Big 12 this year. I think Georgia suffocates Texas. I think the only shot Texas has is if y'all are just hung over from the SEC championship.
That's my fear because, we already played in Louisiana once. All the dogs went to New Orleans and then Baton Rouge. It was terrible. So I just don't want there to be any kind of, disappointment factor. We're in the Sugar Bowl. The program's in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So, I hope that, they're proud and they show up. And I think they will be, especially you see players like DeAndre Baker's playing.
Yeah.
When you're a top 10, 15 corner overall and you're a cornerback, pretty risky. But I love that attitude. So,
I've got Georgia for 39. What'd you do?
39.
39. I don't know.
Y'all think
They're
more points on Georgia than
They're
I
gonna
do.
run the ball at will against Texas.
Yeah,
West
I
Virginia
agree.
ran for over 200 yards on Texas, and Georgia has a much better offensive line and running backs.
Totally agree. I think Georgia, and I told you this after the SEC championship game, I think they're one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah.
And I don't think Texas is anywhere close to on their level. Fiesta Bowl, LSU, UCF. Kyle Brackey, what do you got?
I have LSU for 37. I think what happened last year with UCF and Auburn is a really good wake-up call to whoever UCF was going to play. And now you go against one of the best defenses in the country. Devin White's playing. Greedy Williams is not, though, correct?
Correct.
Obviously, he's a big factor, but I think they're still going to be fine. And then you have Coach O, who is not going to let that team not be ready for that game.
No, they got the jaw right.
Well, Howard, all right. That's all they is. Defending national champs. What SEC football is all about.
That's right.
Gonna win us a national title.
Yes, I would like to echo everything that you and Coach O just said. I've got LSU for 36, and I think that the Auburn game last year is the best friend that he has in preparing this team because there should be no lapse in preparation. I know you disagree with us vehemently.
Yeah,
so
you
go
told
ahead.
us
Yeah,
last
I told y'all last night without any good reasons. So
You're just pissed at LSU.
I'm pissed at LSU. I am pissed at LSU. I do. Their defense is legit. I also love Dariel Mack coming in and playing really well for UCF. I know UCF gets a bad rep, but the fact that they showed up against Auburn, they're gonna have all the motivation in the world to show up again. So I got UCF. Back-to-back national champions.
How many points?
1 point.
Okay. All right.
Why not?
The Rose Bowl, Ohio State, Washington. I feel like Ohio State's finally looking like we expected Ohio State to look these last couple of games. It's Meyer's last game, so there's that. I don't really know what that's going to mean to them one way or another, but it's also pretty much Ryan Day's team now, and they sold early in the year when that was the case, when Meyer was out. I think they've hit their stride. I think Haskins will have a really nice game against what is a really good Washington defense. I put 37 points on it for Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my point total. 35.
35.
Ohio State. Meyer's first Rose Bowl, actually. Surprised me.
I only have 15 on Ohio State. The Washington secondary is very good, and I think can present some problems to Dwayne Haskins. But does the Washington offense have enough to beat Ohio State? I don't think they do.
That is very likely an astute observation because they are strong on defense, no question about that. The Peach Bowl, Michigan, Florida. What'd you do with that, Bracky?
I have Michigan 24. Florida is not that good.
No.
if you look at their schedule,
I'm so happy.
take a second to pull it up here. But I don't know. Michigan, they want to get that taste out of their mouth from that Ohio State game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys talk about it, and then I'll read you off Florida's fake schedule.
Okay, great. I think Michigan's vastly superior to Florida. Shea Patterson is still one of my favorite players to watch, so I'm hoping that he'll have a big day. Regardless of whether or not he has a big day, though, I don't know how Florida's offense is going to breathe against that Michigan defense. So I went 33 points for Michigan.
Well said. I have 32 for Michigan. Again, I'm not sold on this offense at all. I know that they've played well recently, but I'll let Bracky run through the schedule, but I just don't think they've impressed me at all.
9 wins. Some of those came against Charleston Southern, Colorado State, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Idaho, and Florida State.
Mm-hmm. How did they beat LSU?
That's not a top 10 team.
Right, that's the one I can't figure out.
Yeah, they have the LSU win. They got kind of dominated by Georgia. They got killed at home by Missouri.
Yeah.
They lost at home to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Just they're overrated.
Yep. Okay, and then on to the playoffs. We have almost reached the end destination here. Cotton Bowl, Clemson, Notre Dame. I think Clemson's defense is elite. Notre Dame hasn't seen anything remotely similar to that from an opposing defense this year. I'm a little scared of it because everybody seems to be on Clemson so heavy, but I'm also on Clemson heavy. I think Trevor Lawrence balls. I think Travis Etienne balls. I think Clemson wins big. I put 38 points on Clemson.
Did the exact same thing. 38 points.
There you go.
Just too much on both sides. Too much in the trenches. God, that defensive line is just so good that they have somewhat of a leaky secondary, but I don't think it's going to matter. And I also think that Clemson will score, not at will, but handedly.
Yeah.
I got 40 on it.
Whoa.
Clemson all day, every day.
Dang.
40 burgers.
Dropped a 40 burger on Notre Dame. Okay. Sorry, Notre Dame. That was a rough segment for you.
I'm not sorry.
Last, certainly not least, the Orange Bowl. Oklahoma and Alabama. Gunter, what are you doing here?
You're not going to start us off with your team?
No, I'll close it out. I want the last word here.
All right. I'm sorry, man. I put 36 on Bama. We talked about this game a lot. Like, I think Kyler's going to get his points. OU's offense is elite. No one is doubting that. Kyler, very deserving of the Heisman Trophy. Tua's going to be pissed. Looking at Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy winner, coming to play them in the playoffs. I mean, unless OU can somehow score 60 points, which I don't see happening at all, I don't think that I think Alabama could score every time they had the ball. So I got 36 on Bama.
I have 38 on Bama, and I thought that was being nice to Oklahoma.
That's how much they're going to
No,
win by.
like coming in to almost all season.
Thanks for not putting 40 on Bama. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, my point is, like, Bama's been such a huge favorite on everyone all year. You know, it would be a 40, like, without even thinking for a lot of people.
Right.
Like, that just shows, like, how good Kyler Murray is, essentially.
Okay.
And their offensive skill players. I just think Alabama outscores them and gets a stop or two or a turnover or two. Kyler turned the ball over twice against Texas in the regular season, twice against West Virginia. Just got to be really careful. You can't do that against Alabama.
No question.
I see it as like a 52-38, something like that. Like there's going to be points on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma's going to get theirs.
Mm-hmm.
You're both probably absolutely right. However, Lincoln Riley is the best play caller in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia provided a pretty decent blueprint for how to attack Alabama. Lincoln Riley will take that blueprint and he will turn it into a Michelangelo masterpiece. Kyler will do what Kyler does.
Here we go.
Colby will do what Colby does.
All the Oklahoma defense has to do is just force a couple of turnovers. It'll be West Virginia all over again. Oklahoma wins 58-55. I put 21 points on it.
Wow. What? Respect. That is such a high point total.
Hey, that's why we play the game, right?
Dude, if Alabama gives up 50 points in a game, Nick Saban will cut all of his players.
He might just go ahead and like forfeit the game. Be like, yeah, even if they win, he'd be like, yeah, you guys really won.
That's talking about. Like, I do like that blueprint comment. I think that's smart, and I think he will take some from that. Problem is, I think that Saban for the first time is going to have a lot to critique on this team, and so saying that team needs cleanup is ridiculous, but they'll get it. But it sure as hell is going to be a fun game to watch.